Good evening, everybody. Love to hear your guys' faces, voices, in any shape or form. So, yesterday we were working on outlining the outside of the prison, preferably the Bowery area, and we are going to continue it. Last time I was busy doing something in the background, which is why I was just standing there for an hour and you didn't hear a peep. But we are gonna hop on Minecraft right now, and I'll show you what I worked on when I was off camera. I wasn't technically off camera, but wasn't doing anything, so I was pretty much off camera. I was working on the outline that connects from the processing center to the other side of the wall where some buildings would be placed. So yeah, now I have to start outlining where the buildings go, because that's where things get hashtag complicated. It took me nearly 30 minutes trying to figure out the outline around two buildings in particular, where a Riddler trophy would also be placed. So, on the mobile cam, I'm gonna go over what I was talking about. So, over on the mobile cam, this is what you saw last time. I worked on the front gate of the processing center area. Now, this is all new. In the game, there's this huge wall here. It's usually not this big, but because it has to be measured in Minecraft blocks, it's a lot bigger than you can assume. And while we are going over on the mobile cam, I will add the switch. Oh geez. Never mind. Just needed a little second. On the mobile cam, you could see that this large structure is here. I'm going to extend this wall that I built right here, and it's going to come over here. The reason I'm doing that is because over here, this outline is for a Riddler trophy. This is a Riddler trophy that would require the freeze blast, where you have to freeze blast a vent, and then you have to slide inside, and there would be a trophy inside this box. Right near I always seem to forget that when I am streaming and on live, I need to ensure I have my Wi-Fi off, because the system just has a tendency to break after a couple of minutes of recording. Anyways, what I was saying earlier is each of these buildings has a unique outline. Why do I have a map up? For this Riddler trophy, it's this box. Now, outlining the buildings is probably going to be the most difficult thing, because some of them are obscured by other buildings. And I also have to ensure the gap between the buildings is canon to the game as well. It's kind of easy to measure gaps, because usually most of the tiling that is on the roads of buildings as well as the ground, they're usually rectangular. And since Minecraft blocks are rectangular, All I have to do is just slowly step on another rectangle and then count. It is that simple. However, outlining this in Minecraft gets complicated. But I can do it because it just takes some time and a little bit of double checking, and we should have an outline that we are comfortable with. Anyways, so after I have all this set up, I will start building specifically this structure. I need to build this thing all the way up to where the original one is over there. After that, I just need to start building these structures. Some of them are going to be taller or shorter than others, depending on how they look in the actual game. So I'm going to leave the mobile cam left on the tower right there. And then the Nintendo Switch is going to build that entire thing. Unable to connect to world. The Switch seems to be having a couple of technical difficulties, of course, but I'll get it up and running soon. Okay, it seems to be having a lot of trouble. Sometimes the Nintendo Switch version is able to bounce back, but it doesn't, which is okay. A simple restart never hurts anyone. Alright, the restart has finished. So now that will reboot the server, so it should work now. Give it a minute to appear on my mobile phone screen, and we will be good to go. Okay. seems to be having a communication issue. Unable to connect to work. Oh boy. Well, looks like we're gonna have to restart both devices. Very ironic. Huh. Alright, we're just gonna take a quick detour to the menus real quick. Ensure everything is working. Click on the world. And wait. Alright, let's try this again. Gotta give it a minute to appear. And we are back. So like I was saying before, the communication interrupted me. We are going to be building the tower over here. It is going to be in the same design as this wall here. So the same materials. So I got to get this out. And I already have all that out. Okay. All right, let's get building. So we start with a round of stone for the very bottom, which is supposed to be the foundation. I always outline buildings in stone because it helps me understand what I'm going to be building on top. And this is nowhere near done, because after this, we need to start going further down, outlining the rest of the Bowery, and eventually Park Row. The most difficult thing is ensuring that we don't touch a building that Batman does go inside of in the story, or during a side mission. Now we can outline with the actual decoration. This could take me some time due to the fact that this thing is huge. It is a very, very big extension. And given the fact that most of this is not even seen in the actual game, if I go into the real game, first I gotta get out of the Bowery Processing Center, because this is where I spawn. I saved the game, and yet it still spawns me back at the processing center. Just a quick jump, shoot, and we'll be out of here. I'm really liking how this map is turning out so far. Okay, so what you see, you don't see all of it. No, never. No, never mind. In the actual game, you do see it all. Anyways, let's continue building. Oh, wrong material. Oh no. Connection to the host was lost. We are experiencing a lot of connection issues today. Interesting. Wi-Fi is still up and running. All right, we are back and we are continuing construction. This map is definitely a big up compared to what I had done before. In essence, I didn't even get this far in any of my attempts at making this map. The first time on PS3, the only thing I managed to finish was the tower, and that's it. Oh, and the walls. And also how a Tiger helicopter would look, which turned out terrible, given the fact that it was made on Java and Blackstone did not exist back then. And the second attempt on Nintendo Switch, I was only able to build up to the tower. I have exceeded far expectations with this project than my previous attempts. We're already almost to the top. We're almost to the top. Night vision is wearing off. Only a couple more blocks. One more. And we are finished. All right, now I just need to add a layer of sea lantern on each edge. Now I just need to fill it. Now I just need to place a layer of cobweb. right, that completes that. With that complete, now I have a clear idea of how this is going to look now. So, after that is built, now the next part is juggling this Riddler trophy. Because this is where one of the Riddler trophies is going to reside, in this riddle spot. So, if we go around back, this Riddler trophy is actually quite close. So that's good to hear. So that means I don't need to move it. There is going to be a wall, though. I need to get higher up so I can see it better. And this wall will touch. So at the very end of this Riddler trophy area, there is a wall that needs to be constructed. The wall in particular is going to be right here. And then this is where the building is going to be. This is 6 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then this is where the Riddler trophy is going to go. So I'm going to just put it right there. This entire room, which means the wall in particular is going to go right here. All this is the building. It's been moved though, so that means it should be right here. Okay, so that does that. So now I just need to build a wall. Polished andesite. Oh, messed up there. The buildings are going to be a little more confusing because those are going to require a whole different variety of blocks so that they look like they're aged and as well rusted of some sort. Alright. And then the Riddler area is nothing in particular. It's just a bunch of brown... Oh, let me get out of detective mode. Okay, so to start, there is a barrel that goes in front of the area. Alright, so the thing that is going to be more confusing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to have to move this out of the way and push it here. That's what's going to be kind of confusing about the schematics, but it'll look good in due time. Okay, so for this to work, a barrel is going to go in front of the area. So let's put a barrel. Let me get one out. There are two types. Compote that looks more like a barrel. So we're going to use a barrel. And it's two of them, so just stack them like that. The next bit is a vent. The vent, it looks like a rustic yellow or this material. So we're gonna do like that, and it goes twice up, like so, and then the rest of it is covered in a bunch of like frayed pieces of sheet metal. So the best material for pieces of sheet metal would have to be possibly it has to be yellow and metal. It's definitely gonna fall on the category of decorative stone. However, none of these decorative stone looks good enough for sheet metal. Now that's a very complicated metal. Oh my lord. I don't think there's a material in Minecraft that looks like sheet metal. So we're gonna have to work with what we've got. Amethyst, probably. Bedrock, maybe? I mean, bedrock gives the metal part. We'll use a monster spawner, and I guess we'll have to work with I guess I'll do orange. Okay, so for this next bit, why is that there? So, where is it? Oh, it's right there. Okay, so exposed copper. For this next layer, it looks like it's 3 pieces of sheet metal. So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3 pieces of sheet metal, and then we're gonna have to do a bunch of crouches for these monster spawners. Like that, which definitely makes this look a lot taller than Batman, so probably just this small. Okay, and the next bit is the actual opening of the Riddler trophy. And it's a 3-block gap. So, like so, and then monster spawn. Well, this is not going to be possible. The only way that Batman could possibly squeeze through in Minecraft, he would have to be suspended somehow. The best way you can do that is with a vent, with a vent cover. So the biggest example of that is one on the ground. So I'm pretty sure the way you do this, let me just grab a random vent cover. And then push in. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Nope. Okay, so probably we'll test it here. Oh, no. Nope, Batman will not be able to get through that in Minecraft. I believe we're gonna have to try and do something. We're probably gonna have to use vent covers. That's the only way that I see this working. Because, yeah, you can't squat that big. So we may have to make some changes then to the block I'm using. It's probably gonna have to be glass. And I can't use glass blocks. I'm gonna have to use a block that I can put a slab over. But it won't be a full block. A block that looks like that would have to be this one. Oh boy. And I would have to place it here. And then we'll just need a slab that matches that color. The closest one is going to be a cobbled deep stone. And then we just need to make sure it is not big enough. It is a big enough opening where I can squeeze through. Pretty sure 2 slabs is, yep, 2 slabs is impossible. So Batman is pretty much just going to be doing the exact opposite of what he's supposed to do here, but I guess that's fine. So we have the opening ready, and then we just copy the design over until we get to the end, like that. There is an additional line where we can use the exposed cobbled deep stone for. Then we would need the block that disperses the smog. The closest thing that I believe in Minecraft that can disperse smog, what is it? Well, I'll probably have to use cobwebs. And if he touches it, Batman will automatically take damage. So if he touches the cobwebs, oh boy. Why is he not crouching? Why can't he crouch? I don't know. Oh wait, that's because I'm still in flight mode. Batman can walk through it, but I don't want him to. I want him to take damage if he attempts to do that. So let's get a solid block there. And this would be the Riddler trophy area. Now this Riddler trophy area extends. Let me actually get inside. So we have to open it up. Oh, I messed up. So, there's a few things inside that we need to work on. I can definitely see the material these blocks are made of, and it definitely is brick. Good to know. That makes things a lot easier for me. And the area you walk in is very tiny, actually. If I analyze the blocks, so it's a 3-block gap. Yeah, it's pretty tiny. If I try walking in like I am in the game, the walking distance from when you jump, and I'll compare it to while I'm standing right here by the vent. If my amount of blocks is right, Batman and my character should walk to the end at the same time. Okay, that fits. We know what's inside and we know what material the building is made of. Perfect. So that means I can take off the outline. To fill it in, we're just going to be using old school waxed exposed copper gate. Oh, great. And we're just going to fill this in. Let me get a chest because this is starting to fill up already. I'm going to place this chest somewhere that you can't see. Let's take out anything I don't need for the time being. The stuff I'm gonna need for outlining is what I do need to keep. So I'll be keeping that. I don't need the skull anymore anytime soon. Jungle planks are out. That's out. That is out. That is out as well. And also that. Alright. What's good to know is I know what material the buildings are made of. Normal bricks. So that means that we can start filling this in. How many until it gets to that line? It gets to the line at the very end of this wall, which is awfully not very long. Once it gets to this line, there is a layer of a specialized, of a decorated piece of stone. Chiseled has a decoration, but I don't think it matches. Let me look at my decorative stone blocks. Closest thing of that design is the chiseled stone bricks, but it doesn't match its color. What about in the terracotta? None match. What about in normal stone? None of the blocks match. It has a floral design. We're probably gonna have to stick with the chiseled quartz. Smooth quartz, quartz bricks, chiseled quartz. Probably gonna have to stick with that. It has a design on it, which is neat. And now we close it up. So this is the Riddler trophy area. Oh, I gotta crouch. And we know what is inside as well. Oh, what? Oh, the snow, that's why. Now I just have to patiently walk through. Okay. And we also know what is inside. What is inside is a couple of barrels. A bunch of wreckage that I cannot recreate because it's not possible to. And a bunch of barrels in different directions. There's a barrel right here that is facing to the left. Oh darn, I got rid of the barrel, didn't I? Oh boy. I'll just grab it again. That's a barrel there. There's another barrel in a direction. To make that work, though, we're going to have to place them on the wall. Like... Oh, wait, that's not going to look right. Because they're touching each other. So it would have to look like this. No, that's not going to look right. Like that, I guess. And that's it. And then there is a blue bag off in the distance, which has nothing in it, but that lightish blue can be matched with terracotta, I think. Yeah, there we go. And we're just gonna place that right there. Now we can actually start building the buildings. So I can, first let me get out in Minecraft, then I'll get out in the game. Oh, I also need to ensure that this area is not explorable. The only way you can get above this thing is if you glide precisely and land on it. But you're not able to actually grapple. So, because there is a layer of cobweb in front of you. Alright. So now we're outside the bound, we're outside, and we get a good view of the building. This building definitely follows the same building scheme as I saw on the other side inside this area. So we can take off the outlined stone. Oh, wrong building block. Chiseled quartz. Now on the other side, it follows the same pattern until we get to some windows. How tall is this? 1, 2, 3. Is that a 3 blocks? 4 seems prominent. Yeah, this should be 4 blocks. So we're gonna make this 4 blocks. That is 3 blocks. Make this 4. And then we need to build this way. There we go. And next, the next layer up is when windows get placed. So, towards the very end of this, there is a pipe blocking most of it, but there will be a window here. The windows look like they're outlined in a brown color. I wouldn't assume that it's a decorative brown block. None of these match. But this does. Hacked mud. And then I just need to outline a window. Never mind. I need to get a closer look on those windows. To be able to do that, I need to okay. Okay, so those windows. Oh, and I also get a decent look on how it is outlined from moving forward. Okay, so part of the wall will get obscured because of this other building. And the other building does not follow the same color scheme as the brick building. Okay, so I just need to recreate that window. Blocks is probably not a good idea. What if we use a different material? Oh, and it actually gets the iconic shape. Now I just need to keep going this way. Now this is where it gets curvy. After it gets to the top, it has to curve. So we have to go up, and then I need a different block to curve. Oh, wrong way. There we go. And the finishing block, which is a mud brick slab. There we go. I just need to replicate that window design comparing to how many windows there are. Before this block stops, there is 1 window, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on and so forth. Let's see how many we can build, because I can't put so many, given the fact that Minecraft blocks take a lot of time. Oh, wrong building block. Now, some of them will be on and some of them are off. From the looks of it, it has a pattern. The window closest to the middle area is the one that stays on. In case in point, it would be this one. So, I just need to do a little bit of tricks to make it look like it is on even though it is not. As well as a yellow pane for better looking. Okay, so we're going to put a yellow pane and a block of yellow to make it look like it is actually on. Oh, wrong block. There we go. The rest are off. So to get that design, I just have to use possibly a gray, because that looks like what that color is. White would be a little bit too bright. So we're just going to use gray on all the other windows. Then I fill the rest with brick and the chiseled quartz, following the next pattern moving forward. So the chiseled will only appear as this next part is. All of this is chiseled. Then brick. All right, the next part upwards is just a layer of brick, and it is above it. So it's just a bunch of layer of brick. And then the next one starts. The next is the same thing, but one added difference. The window is further now. And they're not going to look so bright in the morning and at night anyways. So even though they look a little reddish, that's going to change. Right. The yellow window this time is one window away, so it's going to be this one this time. Oh, I threw out the block. I threw out both stuff down. They're on the ground somewhere. Oh, they're there. And now the rest is gray. And then obviously another layer of quartz. And that will continue for one more time. After that, okay. Then we have a layer of and then the final layer begins. So we did this layer and now the last layer before the roof. The pattern will stay the same for this one. Okay, and then the pattern stays the same. Okay, after that, what material is that roof made of? It looks like... It looks like after this, it is made out of the same material as the rest of the building. So, for sake of realism, though, we are going to use that. Then this would outline the roof, the building. That's the first building done. And now it's time to do the other side, which is the part you can't see because that side of the wall, because that side of the building has been blocked off. other side of this building gets a little complicated. This is made out of wood for sure. Which type of wood? It would be mangrove wood. And it's white. It's a quartz post. Three-block window, so 3 blocks. And then we have another piece of mangrove wood. Then there is going to be a layer of orange for a slab. Which orange? Needs to be, looks smooth, kind of. No. Sandstone probably looks good, so we'll use sandstone. As soon as it gets there, so probably like right in the middle here. Now it needs to be like this. And then there is a layer of gray. So this would probably be smooth stone. Right, after that, is a very complicated piece. It looks like brown. So, dark oak, no. It's facing this way, so like that, and then goes inside like that. Then it repeats one more time, except now in block form. After that, a slab. That slab pattern only goes one side. Then that pattern no longer follows. That looks like more like andesite. This material looks like stone, but looks more like diorite, so we're gonna use diorite then. this is the building that obscures this one. That is 4 blocks. Let me get my stone out. Oh darn. I threw the stone out. there is a window that is on. It is this one.